I now call Claire Hockey to speak to and move Amendment 17191.2 for 5 minutes, please, Minister.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer, and I move the amendment in my name. I thank Monica Lennon for highlighting International Day of the Midwife. In Scotland, we're very fortunate to have highly educated, skilled and compassionate midwives who lead and deliver the high-quality care so valued by women and their families during their pregnancy as they prepare for the birth and their first few precious days and weeks with their baby. Our midwives support the whole family, and that matters because all the evidence tells us that the experience in the early years can make a real difference to health and well-being later on in life, and support for new parents needs to start pre-birth. So let me repeat the thanks that Jean Freeman recorded on Sunday on the International Day of the Midwife to every single midwife in Scotland and every young midwife in training, to thank them for their commitment, compassion and dedication to their role. It's 2 years since the Best Start, a 5-year forward plan for maternity and neonatal care in Scotland, was published. The Best Start describes a new model of maternity and neonatal care that is family-centred, focuses on compassion and the best care, with the whole family involved in this experience. And one of the central pillars of the Best Start is the introduction of continuity of midwifery carer. Under this model, women receive most of their care from a primary midwife and a small team through their pregnancy, labour and birth and afterwards. That's what women told the Best Start review that they wanted. Midwives told us this is how they want to work, and this model is supported by compelling international evidence of its positive impact, including improved satisfaction with care, fewer medical interventions during birth, improved breastfeeding rates and reductions in preterm birth and baby loss. Last year, 5 early adopter boards were identified, and they were given the task of leading the way across Scotland in implementing the new model of continuity of carer and local delivery of care. And the first teams are now delivering continuity of care to local women. Capturing and sharing learning from these early adopters is helping the remaining boards plan for change in their own areas, tailored to their own local needs. And the underlying principle of delivering individualised care built around a woman, her family, circumstances and needs will be at the centre of every midwife's practice. Built into the model is the recognition that some women with complex needs will need extra care, and the midwife's caseloads are reduced to give them the time to provide that care. We know that the rollout of continuity of carer and the delivery of the range of recommendations in the Best Start will need investment to deliver. And that's why Jean Freeman announced a funding package of £12 million over 2 years for implementation across the Best Start programme. This has allowed boards to invest in infrastructure and in training and equipment to make the Best Start a reality. And we are looking at future funding, recognising that rollout will take several years. No one is in any doubt that this model will mean substantial changes to ways of working, particularly for midwives. And that's why our early implementer boards have invested time and energy in communications and change management, supported by our Best Start programme board and delivery groups. We expect all boards to roll out the new model in a planned and managed way, with safety at the forefront, and our maternity teams are working hard to deliver this. In addition, boards have been supported by national groups that have developed a range of guidance frameworks and training for staff to support implementation. To support rollout, the Best Start programme executive team and the RCM are engaging with the early adopter boards and listening to their experience of continuity of carer to identify learning at a national and a local level to improve implementation across Scotland. A Best Start event in March was attended by over 200 maternity staff, mainly midwives, from across Scotland, with many more watching on the live stream of the event. And the event focused on sharing learning and experience of rollout of Best Start, including continuity of carer, and giving staff the opportunity to ask questions.
If you wish to, Minister, Kezia Dugdale.
Yes, I'll take it.
Thank you, President Officer. I wonder if the Minister would recognise the role of midwives in providing postnatal contraception for women, particularly in poorer communities. And if she does, can she tell us how she ensures that that money goes to deprived communities to do that crucial work?
Sorry, Minister, I believe I shouted Kezia Dugdale instead of Monica Lennon. Would you like to take them both and deal with them?
Do I have time?
I'll give you time. Monica Lennon.
Thank you, President Officer. Thank you to the Minister for giving way. I appreciate the explanation we've had from the Minister so far about future funding. In the amendment, I'm struck by the word "if" the plans will be successful, if fully and appropriately resourced. What I'm not hearing from the government is an absolute commitment that they will be fully and appropriately resourced, and that's why we've put down that reference to £10 million, which stakeholders tell us would give them some confidence. So I wonder if the Minister can give me and the Chamber some further assurance on that point.
Claire Hawkey.
Thank you, Monica Lennon and Kezia Dugdale, for both their interventions. If I can take them in turn, I certainly echo and support what you say there, Ms Dugdale. I think it's very important that we ensure that women are able to plan their pregnancies and do that in a safe and manageable way, and that's why we have obviously free contraception in this country, and it's very important that midwives play a role in educating women about their fertility, particularly in the postnatal period. As regards Ms Lennon's intervention, the £12 million is an initial investment in the 4 early adopter sites, and we anticipate that there will be additional monies coming to the other boards, but we also need to recognise that this is not an addition to the current midwifery care. This will be transformational. This will become the new normal of maternity delivery of care.
Yeah,
I know
and
that
if you
the vast,
could wind up now, please.
I know
Minister.
that the vast majority of midwives and maternity professionals and key stakeholders such as the Royal College of Midwives, the National Childbirth Trust and Bliss support the introduction of continuity of care. An introduction of this model is important in terms of satisfaction for women, staff, and from the perspective of improved outcomes, but change on this scale is difficult and challenging, as change always will. We know that it's important to listen to those staff on the ground and to learn from what's working well, and to work with boards and help them to manage the change programme in the best way forward.